Yep. Should we be recording this too?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So
Absolutely.
we are live. Welcome everyone. My name is Kid. This is Ostara. We are HVU, High Vibes Up.
Hi.
Now we have come to you as a training, you could say. Yes. A training. Yeah, a training. Now, where to start?
Let me mute my computer. Okay.
Where to start? Where to start? Are you going to share it?
Yes, right
Okay.
now.
So we're going to wait for people to pop on. Those that are a part of the Telegram group, as you guys well know or saw, some exchanges happening. So we decided to bring this live because there is a lot of attachment happening, a lot of taking it personal, a lot of, oh, woe is me. It's attaching to stories, attaching to things that are not our own. Stories are just stories. Everybody has their own experience. Now, what I would like, well, let's wait a little bit longer. There's only 9 people watching.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Hi, Kraz.
Hi, Kraz.
Hi, Jeff. Hi, Dawn.
If
Hi, Maggie.
our mods on the other channel can say something so I can make you a mod, I'd appreciate it.
This is our other channel. Yeah, I saw that, Melissa. It's okay. If people want to act like a child, they're going to be treated like a child. And if they don't want to be treated like a child, well, that's their choice. That's their problem, not mine. But I will do virtual spankings for those that do not want to, do things with love. If they want to do things like call people Satan, call people a DS member, if they want to attach to somebody else's story and treat somebody like they are, worthless, or attaching to somebody else's experience, well, yeah, I'm going to virtually spank you because it's all over the regular chat. So might as well just do it where everybody else can see it. So everyone can learn, because when one person does one thing, it turns into a facet of training. When one door closes, it's not when one door closes, one door opens. It is when one door closes, 10 more open. So every time that you make a choice, 10 more doors open, which means that you are opening 10 different possibilities to happen inside your experience. So if you are attaching to a story that is not yours, meaning that you are attaching to somebody else's, what do you call that? Experience, somebody else's way of life, somebody else's way of doing things. Well, guess what? 10 more doors are going to be opening, which means that somebody's going to be coming in and putting you in your place. And that is fucking me. I will do that. And I'll do that in love. Just know I do love you. But I will not tolerate anyone calling anybody something negative. And as you guys well saw, every time I said something, I didn't tag anyone. I didn't specifically say to one person. What I did was I kept it open for everybody, because when you treat someone differently than everyone else, guess what happens? Oh, they're better than me. They're treating them better than me. Honey, let me get something straight with you. We are not going to treat anybody any differently, which is why, 1, I didn't tag you. 2, you are the same as me. We're all shoulder to shoulder. If you want to be treated like a child, I'll treat you like a child. I will virtually spank you in front of everybody, and that's fine. And I'm not saying you can't speak your voice. I'm not telling you to not stand up for yourself. But if you can't stand up for yourself in love, back up. That's why there's something called a block button. There's also something called ignore them and get an administrator or a moderator or me, because I'll personally take care of it for you. All you have to do is just ask. Now, since we have 12 people here, wonderful, let's get started with the training. What I mean about attaching to somebody else's experiences, everybody gets attached to somebody else's experience. I want you to put your hand up in front of you. Now take your palm and face it towards you. This right here is your experience, which means everything outside of here.
Outside. I'm outside.
Everything outside is not my experience, which means that if you put your hand up, that's her experience, right? That's not my experience. So when I start, acting up, acting like a child, deciding to be, oh my God, woe is me. This is all my fault. This is what I'm doing. Oh my God, everything is against me. Well, guess what? She has a choice, right? And what choice do you have? What's your choices?
My choice is to recognize my experience versus his experience, or to mash our experiences together and take on his energy.
So, attaching to somebody else's story. This is my favorite saying. My perception is my perception. Your perception is my deception. Now flip it. Your perception is your perception. My perception is your deception, which means that if you take everything that I say as your full truth, or if you take everything that I'm doing and make it yours, or you attach to it, guess what? It becomes your lie, which means that you're not living your life. You're living somebody else's life in your body, which means that you're not living a life at all because it's lifeless. So what you're doing is that you're attaching to somebody else's story, somebody else's actions, somebody else's decisions, and you're making it all about you when it had nothing to do with you in the first place. So what you want to do is you command your energies back. You stand in your own power. You don't have to call people names. You don't have to beat somebody else down just because they are beating other people down. You don't have to gang up either. We are here for each other. We are family. Family does what? Protect each other. Family does what? Parents do what? Parents do what? Right?
That's really loud.
Sorry.
Okay, so we are in a place where we're shifting. We're shifting out of the abuse of the cabal, the abuse of the deep state, to a world of peace and love and family. This is where the shift is happening. The shift is also bringing us to a place of leaving the medicine of the world and moving into the medicine of the earth. And so this shift can bring up challenges if we have not already received the training about our thoughts, the training about memories and what they are, the training of the fact that we connect to the Akashic records all the time, and what does that mean for us? There's so much that was hidden from us, so much that we have not been taught, and it leaves us naked in how we deal with other people, other people's energies, and how to deal with our own, to do the inner work, to understand what it means, what's happening, why we're feeling the way we're feeling. Go ahead.
No.
Something you wanted to say?
No, I was just saying, I feel better now because I was able to vent a little bit while training. So that made me feel good. So, yeah, I'm in a blissful mood now.
Are you okay with everything that's been said?
Yeah.
Okay, good. All right.
They needed to hear it.
Okay.
Everyone needs to hear what that has to be. Like, there is a knowing, there is a, what do you call that? An awareness of what's truly happening.
Just wanted to make sure.
But go ahead. Sorry.
So it's like what how our roles, yours and my role. You bring the discipline and I bring the love.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
What was I going to say? Now I completely forgot. Well, if it's important, it will come back. You know the saying, do unto others you want done unto yourself, right? Flip it. Do unto yourself how you want me to do unto you, says Source. So what's happening right now is that we are all in a testing area. Every single one of us. As you can see, I was also attaching to all these emotions, all these feelings. And right now, I was able to just let it go. Because there is a moment in time that we all need to realize that all of this is not ours. Our thoughts, the thoughts that we have, if they're negative, they're not ours. If they're positive, they're not ours. Did you know that positivity is just as dangerous as negativity? The reason why I say that is because positivity is the same thing as taking a narcotic. Let's say a Percocet, Vicodin, or Norco, or even morphine. It's like twisting your ankle, taking one of those pills so you don't feel the pain, and then you're like, oh, I feel good, so you go for a run, but you don't realize it's that your ankle just snapped and broke. You see how that works? Same thing with positivity. You do so much for others that you don't feel your own pain, which then the pain happens after you're done helping that person. Then you're like, why am I feeling like this? And we don't understand because we're standing on one side of the scale. Positivity, negativity, they're both two sides of the scale. When you stand on one side, guess what happens? The other side goes up. Or when you step on the other side goes up. When you step on the side of the scale of negativity or positivity, Source is going to send something your way to balance you out. But then we just go on to the other side thinking, oh, hey, yeah, this is where I need to be. Okay, so it goes like this. And then you throw something positive your way. So you go this way, but you then stand in the positivity like, oh, yeah, I feel good now. So you really need to stand in the neutrality. And how do you do that? To do that, you need to be in the observance mode. And the way to get into the observance mode is by doing that technique. Putting up your hand with your palm facing you, going, this is my experience. Every time that somebody else is acting up, you don't attach to it. You don't say something to them to trigger them more. You don't allow yourself to stand in their shoes. You've already been there. What you need to do is just stand in your own shoes, stand in who you are, know that you are perfect the way that you are. You don't need to be somebody else just to appease another person. By loving thyself, you love others automatically. So when I was on the drugs for crystal meth, I learned in one of the classes that I've taken is that they asked me this question. Do you love your parents? I'm like, yes. They're like, well, how can you love your parents when you don't have enough love for yourself? That made me think, oh, shit. You're right. I don't love myself because I'm here at this class trying to learn how to stay clean. Well, that didn't work out very well. I had to learn to love myself first before I can love somebody else. And it's the same thing with you. If you don't respect yourself, you're not going to respect anybody else. And it's the same thing with somebody else that's going to be acting like, oh, this, oh, that, oh my God, shut the fuck up, this is no BS type shit. Well, that's because they're not respecting themselves. They're not loving themselves. They are out of balance, which means that when you attach to it, you become out of balance, which which means that you are attaching to a situation that is not even needed at this time. And yet that happens. The reason being is because the old programming, the subconscious has been programmed for you to think that you are not enough, that you are unworthy of anything and everything in this life. So what you need to do for the first step is to go back down from going, oh, I am beautiful, I am amazing, I am this, I am that for the manifestations. Honey, that's advanced stage. You guys are not in the advanced stage at this time. What you need to do is go back to the spiritual for dummies. And the spiritual for dummies is, I am enough, I have enough, I do enough. That right there is going to help reprogram your subconscious into thinking that you are worthy, because your subconscious is telling you you are unworthy. You are unworthy of this, you are unworthy of that. And the reason why I know this is because I have been there. I have done that. And guess what? I still go back to the spiritual dummies, even though I do go up to the advanced stages every now and then. We all jump from advanced back down to spiritual to dummies. For dummies. So that is the first step that I need you guys to do is I am enough, I have enough, I do enough. These 3 affirmations is going to change your life. It's going to help you to stand in the power of who you are. You don't need to voice your opinions all the time. You need to voice your own opinions for yourself. Where am I standing right now? If you see yourself attaching to the situation, what I like to do is, you guys know the stop, drop, and roll, right? When you're on fire. Well, think about this. Every time that you start attaching to something, you're on fire. So stop, plop, and think. The stop, plop, and think. So when you stop, you plop your ass down, and then you think of what is going on. Have that thought process of, oh dear, why am I attaching to this? What am I lacking within my life that is happening, that is making me choose this story? You see how that brings awareness. So, spiritual for dummies. I am enough, I have enough, I do enough. And the second affirmation I want you guys to say is, I am flexible, I am adaptable, and I stand in my power, or I am available. The reason why for the I am flexible, I'm adaptable, and I stand in my power, or I'm available is when you say I am flexible, it trains the subconscious to be flexible like bamboos in a storm. Did you know that bamboo is the strongest wood in this world? Bamboo can withstand thousands of pounds of wind and still stand up straight. Interesting, right? So no matter how hard or how soft that situation is, you are training your subconscious to be flexible within it. So when you say, I am adaptable, you are training your subconscious to be adaptable in any situation, no matter how hot the situation can get or how cold it can get. It's like walking through a desert of never feeling hot or walking through a blizzard of never feeling cold. You are training your subconscious to go through to be adaptable in any situation, no matter the temperature, how hot or how cold that situation may be. And when you say, I stand in my power, that's pretty much self-explanatory. But when you say, I stand in my power, you are standing in what you believe for yourself. Now, which reminds me, I have an acronym for the beliefs. Now, let's go over that. Here it is. Beliefs. Believe, empower, love, understand, embrace, forgive, and surrender. But did you know that that could become a story? The beliefs is a story frontwards and backwards. When you believe, you empower the love to understand the embracing of forgiveness as you surrender. Now, when you surrender, you're then able to forgive yourself as you embrace the understanding, not understanding, understanding the love that you have within you to empower your belief system. That is what beliefs is. Believe, empower, love, understand, embrace, forgive, and surrender. And when you surrender, you then forgive, embrace, understand, love, empower, and then you go back into believing in who you are. Because we have all been programmed to believe that we are someone that we're not. So that leads to the THINK acronym. Think, T-H-I-N-K. The hell I now know, or the heaven I now know. Meaning that think, when you use the words I think I, anytime that you're referring it to yourself, think the hell, the past, the heaven, the future. Meaning when you think of something, you're only thinking of the shoulda, coulda, wouldas. I should have done this, I could have done that, or would have done this if I'd known. Or you're thinking of the future that isn't even created yet, which means that you are doing your absolute best to create something out of something that isn't even there, which means that you're creating nothing. Which means that when you say, I think I, you are creating a worry, a doubt, and a lack energy within you, because you're not creating anything, and anything that is in front of you that is nothing makes you feel worthless, right? When you feel like, or was taught that you, whenever you create something in front of you, you feel worthwhile.
Can I interject something?
Of course.
All right. So someone said, is this the Candy Kelly show?
Bro, your face.
Okay. What is this teaching called? This is about recognizing the inner anger, the inner war, the inner lies, what is going on, recognizing what's yours and what's not yours. So I wanted to share a personal story. This is his stars is what happens all the time here. This is why I've grown so much. We were on our way to a store, and I was just having a bitch session. Man, I was just going at it. And then all of a sudden, I felt a shift in the energies. And from my peripheral, it was like the Chucky doll. Now, his stars all have different names, and this one that came forth, we call the grumpy star, because the only time he comes forth is when he's got a message. It's like what he calls the verbal spanking. And I'm driving and I feel the energy shift, and all of a sudden I see his head doing this. And I went, oh shit. Okay, I'm done. And it was just his coming forth, this star, that brought me back to myself, that got me in line. One other time, he said to me, Grumpy Star, oh, that's the way you want to do it. So you're going to do it like that now. And I just, you see, we have a choice when we are being confronted with our own behavior. I had a choice. I could have done what I have done my whole life, what I've seen my parents do, what I've seen other people do, and that is beat around the bush, make excuses, blame someone else. But learning and growing and ascending and raising your vibrations and bringing healing and health to your body is all part of doing that work. And so you begin to learn that the ego is a part of you. The ego becomes inflamed when we are running away, when we are running around instead of facing. Now, when I say something to someone and it didn't come out right, man, do I feel it. Don't you? I could feel the emotions coming up like, oh, shit. And so I've learned to say very quickly, that is not how I meant it to come out. And other times I've said, I take back everything I just said, because that came from somewhere ugly, somewhere dark. And would you allow me to rephrase that in the way that is loving and beautiful? These are the choices that I have learned to make instead of defending myself, because what am I defending myself against? When I am behaving in a way that brings down my vibrations or the vibrations of my family, how is that serving anyone? How is that helping anyone? I remember years ago, people talked about, oh God, Thanksgiving. I just do not want to be with family. Drama, drama, drama. Who remembers that? Because no one was taking responsibility for themselves. We didn't know how to. But the energies have shifted. The energies are moving in a beautiful place to bring us to a space where we don't have to hate ourselves. We can love who we are and recognize when someone is having a lower vibration, a lower energy, when they are making a choice that does not suit us, but we do not have to attach to that. Remember. So we begin to be like a parent. Those of you who are parents understand. Those of you who have nieces and nephews or who have ever babysat will understand that when a child says, can I go out and play? And you know that they'll go right into the street and it's dangerous. They're only 4. That you're going to say no. And they can throw themselves on the ground. They can say, I hate you. That actually comes for teenage years. They can throw themselves on the ground. They can say, but I want you. They can scream, and you just look at them and smile because you understand they do not know what is safe and what isn't. And you're the parent, and it is important that you protect them. So you might, I might smile and say, oh, I understand you want to go outside. I cannot accompany you out right now because mommy's doing things. So if you want to continue to throw your little temper tantrum, you can take your little fanny and go to your bedroom and throw it. So us being spiritual adults can look at others who do not understand these lessons yet as children that we need to protect and speak lovingly to, and not attach to their experience because they don't understand yet. Does that make sense? Okay. You're going to share with me later?
Well, let's just say that apparently somebody is taking my words and flipping it against me, saying that I'm the one full of ego.
I saw that. I didn't know if I should delete it or leave it, so I left it.
Well,
because, I mean, we don't want negative speech. We don't. But we don't want to just delete everything either.
Well, I'm not one to silence people's thoughts, but if they're going to drag me down with it, then yeah, I will take part of it. I will stand my ground and I will say what I need to say in love. as everyone saw on the Telegram, I didn't, one, point fingers. What I did was I brought everybody in as a whole.
You know, I want to tell you how grateful I am that you do that and you can do it so well. Because, you know, I am still working through that. And I'm kind of like make love, not war type of person. So we're all in different stages of learning. So I really appreciate that you can do that. What's going on?
Okay. Seriously? If she's sissy, you need to leave her alone. What are you trying to do?
Just me, he's handling something. But yeah, I get a little uncomfortable when it comes to conflict, and it takes me a little time to process how to speak and deal with it. So I'm very grateful that you've learned that.
Well, I'm still doing my best.
That's all we can do.
Yeah. Do you know how hard it was for me not to really attach to it? I felt those energies. I can feel my heart beating, going. I'm like, oh, calm down my beating heart. Like, it was crazy. Words are very powerful. Did you know that the me, myself, and I is not as dangerous as the word you? You, when you say the word you, and you are referring to somebody else as something, you are labeling something. Labeling is very important not to do. It's very important to be very careful of that, because when you say you are doing this or you are that, literally what's happening is that you are labeling a mirror. It's not that you are labeling that person, you're labeling yourself. Everything is a reflection. Everything is always bouncing back. How you treat yourself is how I am going to treat you, says Source, or what everybody says, God. It's not do unto others, you want done unto yourself. It's do unto yourself how you want me to do unto you. Wow, we have a lot of distractions today. And it's the same thing with respect. Respect thy mother and thy father?
Good boy. Go.
No.
Go.
It's respect thyself to respect thy mother and thy father. Love thyself to love thy neighbor. It's not love your neighbor as you love yourself. Love yourself to love thy neighbor. And guess who your neighbor is? Anybody that's close to you. Anybody that's next to you. Anybody that is across the street from you. You know, there is throughout all my jobs, I've learned this one rule, 6 foot rule. The 6 foot rule is not, 6 foot distance, not that. Whenever you're at 6 feet in front of another person, acknowledge them. I was in customer service all my life. I've been a manager all my life since I was 18. I've learned that 6 foot rule is very important. And it's the same thing with you. Your experience, yes, is here, but it also extends to 6 feet out in front of you, which means that every 6 feet, you need to acknowledge where you're at. You need to acknowledge where you stand. Yes, stand in your power, voice your opinions, but voice it in love. If somebody else is coming to you saying, this is BS, you shouldn't be doing that, you need to shut the fuck up, ask them a question. What's going on? Are you okay? Would you like to talk? Is there something that you would like to get off your chest? When you are bringing them to the awareness that, yeah, they're having an issue, maybe I should be there to help them. Instead of, attaching to it, because it has nothing to do with you, right? You are a person, you are a high being, you are an amazing being, you are love, you are light. It's time to stand in that power. Yes, voice your opinion. These are my thoughts upon this situation, and I don't feel comfortable with it. If somebody shares something with about, Trump or someone else or this or that, and if it makes you feel uncomfortable, voice that. This conversation right here is making me a little uncomfortable. Would you be able to take that, in DM or personal message, the person that you're talking to? There are ways to take care of yourself by standing in your own power. And if they still don't listen, well, block or mute or, hey, kid, can you take care of this for me? I feel very uncomfortable with this type of information. You know me, I'll get on there and I'll tell them for what's what. So all you have to do is just stand in who you are. Yeah, voice your opinion. Don't close off your throat chakra. Be who you need to be. Love yourself. But don't belittle yourself first, because when you attach to a situation, you're belittling yourself. You're telling your subconscious, you are confirming to your subconscious that you are worthless. We don't want you to feel worthless. We don't want you to feel like you can't say what you need to say. But if it's not in love, in high vibration, how are you going to get across? It's like walking a tightrope. Think about it. A trapeze. You need a stick for balance, because the farther the stick, the better the balance that you have.
Everyone feels the energies of, all right, give me a good argument. It's a way of relieving stress, relieving pressure. But think about where that stress and pressure is coming from. We are projecting from a different situation, something that is bothering us, and we take it out in a different conversation. This is not helpful. And we need to recognize when we're doing that. Recognizing where the root of the issue is, because otherwise, what are we doing? We're kicking the dog. We come home from work because our butthead boss has been an arse. We come home, we kick the dog because that's all we feel like we can do. It's not fair to the dog.
I've done that all my life too.
We all have. I was very angry when I was newly married. So angry that I was just talking to one of my friends about this. We had a kitten. This kitten recognized how angry I was and pooped and peed on my bed all the time. And at that time, I had no idea what inner work was. I had no idea how to get rid of the anger. I didn't even know what was causing it. So I continued to be angry, and the cat continued to pee and poo. So I got rid of the cat. I didn't know any better. But we're coming to a place to where we're learning. We're learning how to know better. People, all of you are so beautiful. Do you piss people off sometimes? Of course you do. I'm sure I do too. But you're beautiful. And to come to the place to where we heal is where we must be. What happened in High Vibes Up Telegram? it hurt people. And there was a situation where people didn't know how to handle it. So we're helping now. We're helping to bring clarification, inner awareness, so that there is an understanding of what happened and how to proceed next time. High vibes up is what? High vibes up. There is a reason why it was called that. When we lamented over the name to go with for what our plans are in the future, it was the stars that brought up high vibes up.
They brought it to me through a dream. I was a bar owner and it was called High Vibes Up, HVU. And it was very popular. And then suddenly a fight broke out inside my club, my High Vibes Up club, my dream, okay? And I was like, you know what? If you guys want to take this shit, you take your shit outside. Because this place is only high vibrational, so get the fuck out. And that's how I'm treating this Telegram group. As the same thing as that club that I owned. This is my baby. You guys are my family. But I will not stand by and take shit. Now, don't worry. My feelings won't hurt. That's what I was kind of chuckling about a little earlier, is that, yeah, everybody else will get hurt. But it's okay. If you say shit about me, well, I don't care. I'll just call you out on it. I spoke facts. I bring facts to the table. I will only bring facts to the table when I call somebody out. So, love. Oh,
I might also add, it's not just you that calls them out, but it's the stars that channel through you.
it's the same.
I have seen my son without the stars.
Yeah.
And trust me, he is. Even Esther Hicks, who channels Abraham, she says, I don't know what I'm doing or saying. And then Abraham comes in and I have all the answers. And sometimes I'll say to Abraham, what about this? Well, sometimes you need to figure things out. And because you know. And I see that with him and the stars too. So keep in mind that when training is occurring with Kid here, most likely you are getting the training from the stars, and that's amazing. It is to me, at least. I appreciate that. I appreciate that they give me that time like that and have helped me to come to where I am today. Go ahead. You were going to talk about love.
Oh, yes. Oh, no. I forgot. You see? I don't remember now because it wasn't me.
Well, the stars will continue to channel. You want to move on to something else?
I can almost. The me, myself, and I. Let's go back to the me, myself, and I. Circle back, girl. To the me, myself, and I. So, anything referring to yourself with words is very dangerous. But whenever referring to somebody else, the you is the most dangerous. Everything is a two-way street. Everything is a Q-choice system in this world. Sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. Sometimes you will, sometimes you won't. You know what? Let us go over this shit, shall we? Where is it? I can't do that. Okay. Minus that one. I'm going to bring up a picture. And this picture is going to show you guys exactly what I want to talk about today. Personal information. Is that one? It is that one. Yes? Yes. Yes. This one. Your voice commands your mind, body, and spirit. We are of a trinity mind, a physical, a mental, and a spiritual mind. Now, did you know that we have a total of 3 hearts? We do. We have our physical heart, and then we have our mental heart, which is our head, our brain. Yeah, that's our mental heart. And then we have our spiritual heart, which resides on the other side of our heart, which makes it the triangle, the trinity of who we are. We are of the trinity being that we are meant to be. Now for this, the learning of each word, the root, and the original intention. Now, it's not that you have to find the cousins to each word, but it's more like when you say it, when you see it, you then feel it. So the words, I can't, it's hard, I don't believe, I'm skeptical, I don't like it. Well, you are literally stopping the growth by saying those things. And it's the same thing with the I think I don't know, I try, I might, I can't. Or hope, wish. Did you know that hope and wish are both lower vibrational words? The reason why I say that is because when you say hope, I hope you have this, or I hope I get this, or I hope, you are creating an energy out of nothing, which then you are manifesting what? Nothing out of nothing, which means that you are giving a false hope to somebody when you say, I hope you have a great day. Because you are creating a word or a something that isn't really there, which means that it is hopeless. So, same thing with the wish. When you say, I wish you a Merry Christmas, I wish you a happy birthday, I wish you this, or I wish I this, or I wish I got. Well, guess what? Every time that you say, I wish you, or I wish I, what you're doing is that you're going up to a wishing well, you're dropping a coin inside that well and wishing for something. You're wishing for an energy that hasn't even been made yet, which means that the energy that you're giving to somebody is a energy that's not even there. You're giving your power away to something that you shouldn't be giving your power away to, which means that when you say I wish or I hope, you're giving your power away to something that doesn't even need your power. You're just giving it away free nilly. Same thing with the word want. Now I'll go over these of how to change them or what to change them to. The want, I want. It makes the subconscious go, wanting more. I want more. Give me more. It feels good. You change the want to desire or need, because Source, God, does not give us what we want. He gives us what we need. And what do we need? We need steps. We need structure. We need an elevator. We need an escalator. We need to find out what the next step is. Need and desire. Source gives us what we need to get the true desire within our hearts, okay? So every time that you speak a word, you think a word, you are creating an energy of that word, because energy, let's go back to this. So energy, vibration equals matter, right? Well, think about it. So energy creates a frequency. A frequency creates a vibration. And then the vibration creates the matter, which the matter manifests right in front of you, right? You are that matter. So when you think of something or have those thought processes of, because thoughts are just energy, and energy turns to what? Energy turns to frequency, and frequency turns to vibration, which then the vibration turns right back into the energy of what it is, because matter is just energy. You are that matter. You matter in this world. Everything that you do matters. As you can see, why it says matter, because you are that matter. Thought is energy. Seeing is energy. Talking is a vibration, but it's also an energy, which means that speaking is also a vibration. So when you speak, when you think, when you see, what I see is what I believe is what I could do, what I could do is where my destiny lays. What you speak does the same thing as what you see. So did you know that we have a total of 18 different senses? We have 6 senses of the physical, 6 senses of the mental, and 6 senses of the spiritual, which means that every time that we taste something and this taste disappears, you are either tasting it from the spiritual reality, from the spiritual senses, or you are remembering that taste inside your mind and it's coming out through your actual taste buds, because you are connected to every single sense in this body of yours, the physical, mental, and spiritual senses. So when you start saying, trying, I can try, I'm trying, I will try, or I will attempt to, you are blocking yourself from gaining your true desire, because trying, oh, I will attempt to do it is, honey, no, you're not going to do it. There's either do or don't, will or won't do it. There is no in between of I will try. If there is something in front of you, I would like you to try to pick it up. Don't pick it up, just try to pick it up. Can you try to pick it up? No, there's either picking up or you won't pick up. See, that is what you need to do. You don't need to try anymore. When you say the word, I'm trying to do something, you are stopping yourself. That's technically just a no, I won't do it. So when you say that, you are creating the energy of you will never be able to, or you will never do it in this lifetime. So it's time to burn those contracts. Every time that you say any of those words, I can't, it's hard, I don't believe, I'm skeptic, I don't like it, try, I'm trying, or I can try, or I will try, or I will attempt to. All you have to say is cancel, delete that. Cancel, delete that. Because we all have 15 to 25 seconds to cancel out a creation before it's made, before it goes into the vortex. For those that have listened to Abraham Hicks, you will know you will know all about that. But did you know that the higher you vibrate, the higher you go in dimensions, the higher you go in the energies, the louder you hum, the shorter the time span. You can get all the way down to 3 seconds. 3 seconds. The higher you are, the more you got to be careful of what you say. So when you are saying, I'm trying, I can't do it, oh, no. Well, guess what? Honey, you've got 3 seconds to cancel, delete that. Now, never be hard on yourself when you cancel yourself. Cancel that. Because when you're hard on yourself, you're making all of that 10 times stronger. Think about it. Because you are allowing your negative energy to fill up that creation of lower frequency, which makes that lower frequency what? Stronger. So, which means that you have less time. No, I'm sorry. Cancel, delete that. You have less time to cancel it out because you're creating it stronger. So you just keep on saying cancel. It's like canceling out layers of onions. Now think about this. Every time you make a contract within your Akashic records, the contract cannot be duplicated, but it can get thicker. So think about our contracts this big, because we've been saying, I can't, I won't, I this, I that, I try, I attempt. Those, it just keeps on getting thicker. So the more you start canceling out these contracts, the more you start burning these contracts, the more you start taking care of yourself and standing in your own power, the less it's going to affect you when somebody else comes into your experience going, oh, my mother, my father, my sister, my brother, right? So remember, anything referring to yourself, I think I don't know, I'm trying, I might, I can't, those Those are all frequencies that are keeping you from achieving your actual goal. Now, remember this. You can block yourself from achieving your goal by stopping in your tracks. But let me tell you a little thing. When someone says you have a block in your life, what they're saying is that you're stopped in your life. There is no blocks. There never has been any blocks, and there never will be any blocks or bumps in the road. It's just that you are making a choice too. When you are going up in vibration, you hit a plateau. You don't hit a block. This plateau, guess what it is? It's nothing more than a testing ground. Because when you go up in dimensions, everybody knows of the inception, right? A dream within a dream within a dream. Think about the dimensions. A dimension within a dimension within a dimension. So you have your 3D dimension, right? And within that 3D dimensions, you have more dimensions. And within those dimensions, you have even more dimensions. And within those dimensions, you have the 3T, 4T, and 5T, which are all just situations. You got to look at the deeper knowledge of the dimensions, not just the bigger picture. It's time to look through the microscope and see the dimensions within the dimensions within the dimensions, all the way down to its root, which is the 3T, 4T, 5T. I call them the T's because it means tiers. The third tier, fourth tier, fifth tier. It's like the 3D, 4D, 5D type thing. Except each one of those is a lesson to be learned. So 3T is where you're going through the lesson. 4T is where you are implementing the lesson. And then 5T is the resting area. It's like a truck stop where you take a break. You got to take a piss break type thing. And then comes the test. Are you ready for the next stage? That test right now is called what? Patience. When you hit that plateau, it's just a gate. Just think of the gate with a sloth on the other side that has to open it for you. Oh, so slow, Source or God is making it a testing for you. Are you ready for that next stage? All you have to do is just sit back and relax and watch. When you've hit that 5th tier, that's when you know. That's when you know everything is going good for you. But that's also when you know, oh, okay, I'm at a rest stop. The test is coming. Am I ready for it? Are you ready for it?
Do you remember when I was asking you the questions or asking the stars about the dimensions and how people were saying, I was reading that when you get to the upper dimensions, it's all about love, right? There's going to be all that love. And then do you remember that we found out that Star Wars is an actual documentary? Now, how can Luke Skywalker and Darth Vader have that kind of power if they're not in the upper dimensions? And how can they be in the upper dimensions if it's only about love?
Right?
So it is so much more than that. And that's when the star said, what takes you to the upper dimensions? Knowledge.
Not wisdom. Remember, wisdom is an off branch of knowledge. You gain the knowledge first, and then the wisdom comes to know what to do with it, which means stop focusing upon the wisdom. No more focusing upon the wisdom, because the wisdom comes with the knowledge that you already have. Think about it. When you say, oh, wisdom this, I need the wisdom. Source, give me the wisdom to know the difference. You're keeping yourself stuck because you're not focusing. Because you're not focusing upon the knowledge that you are gaining to use the wisdom that you already have deep within you. The wisdom comes from being aligned with yourself, your trinity, your three hearts of who you are. So when you take it personal, you're standing in a false program, which means that when you start attaching to something and you catch yourself, why am I acting like that? Oh, I don't feel worth it. Okay, I am enough. I have enough. I do enough. Everybody feels worthless. Don't beat yourself up for something that you don't need to beat yourself up over. Love comes in many different forms, right? Love is peace. Love is kind. Love is precious. Love is unconditional. So why aren't you sharing that with yourself? Good question, right? When you're sharing it with everybody else, where's the love for yourself? Are you going to treat yourself in a negative way? Ask yourself questions. But be careful on how you ask those questions. If you ask those questions, okay, why is this happening to me? You hear the word two. Did you know that in this world, yes, 2 is an even number, but us, 2 is an uneven number. The even number for us as humans is 3. 3, the trinity, 6, the power, 9, the creation, 12, the universal flow. And then you add 3 more, you get 15, which equals 6. Right? And then you add 3 more, it equals 18, which equals what? 9. 9. So 3s. So when you ask the question, what is the next best thing for me? For physical, mental, spiritual, source. You and source alone, which is what? 2. Get it? So when you say, why is this happening to me? You are uneven. You're focusing upon one thing in your life. Why me? That's the one.
Gets us.
But if you focus upon what is happening for me, physically, mentally, spiritually, and with the source himself next to you, makes the 4, what is the next best thing you can send for me to help me achieve my next step? You see how this works? Words are power. So when you call somebody, you're a freaking Satan. You Satanist. You satanic. You are calling yourself a Satanist, a satanic. So you need to be very aware that loving yourself first comes first before loving someone else.
It's all the process of we are one, isn't it? It's the understanding that we are one. And when we're looking at someone else, we are actually looking at a self-reflection. When I see someone as amazing, I'm seeing that amazing thing within myself. And why is that? Because we recognize what we know.
Awareness. The most toughest thing for us as humans to stand in is the allowance. Acceptance is an off branch of allowance. Did you know that? You first got to allow what's happening inside your experience. You're the one that chooses to allow it or to block it. You can't bring acceptance first. You first got to stand in the allowance to allow yourself to accept yourself. So when you go down to the I am enough, I have enough, I do enough, I am flexible, I'm adaptable, and I stand in my power, this allows you to be open to all things for your highest good. because you are training your mind, your subconscious, and to let you know, the subconscious is your ego, which means that when you squash your ego, you are squashing your subconscious. Somebody told me that I had all my ego come out earlier today when I was doing what I was doing on the Telegram group. But what she didn't realize is that when she was attaching to it, she was allowing herself to be bombarded with all these energies. She made it all about her when it had nothing to do with her in the first place. I made it all about me when it had nothing to do with me in the first place. I allowed myself to be dragged in. Yes. Did I do it in love? Yes. But doesn't mean that it didn't affect me. It did affect me. And I accept that. Okay. See, that was me talking, not the stars. I shouldn't have even brought that up. So I apologize for that. I shouldn't have even brought that up. That was me, my ego. See how my ego comes out? You can tell when it's not me or between me or the stars. So. And
I didn't have to say a word. You did that all by yourself, coming to that conclusion. How beautiful is that? That is the muscle memory of practicing and the inner awareness, the inner standing, and the work over and over and over and over again. You begin to get quicker at recognizing things.
Everyone in this world, or everyone that watches Jason Q, remembers this saying: with great power comes great responsibility. I took responsibility for myself just now, right? I admitted that I went over and beyond what I should have. With great power comes with great responsibility. If you can't take responsibility for your own actions, how are the other people going to come here to train us with what we need to do as one, right? So through these words of being mindful of how you speak, what you create within your own experience, that is what's going to create what you truly desire in this life. Source will send you that next step to gain what you need to truly gain what you desire. All you have to do is just allow yourself the time and the space. Don't attach, but be aware. Be in the observance at all times. Being in the observance mode is what? Being neutral. There is no taking sides of the negativity or the positivity. It's just being an observer of what's happening. If you have to, well, you guys know the saying, for every 2 steps forward, you take 1 step back. And yet for every 2 steps forward, and with 1 step back, you're still moving 1 step forward, which means that you're not going back. You're still moving forward. So I know that there's a lot of fear with the 3T, 4T, and 5T that I was just explaining not too long ago, that when you go up, you go back into the 3T, you feel like you're going down, when literally you just ascended to that next level, going back into the 3T of that next dimension up, which means that you're not going down. You don't go down. You just keep moving forward. You just keep moving up, which means that you're at that testing ground for as long as you need to. You don't go back down to 3T. You stay there in the 5T until the gate opens, until you learn that patience for that situation. So never think, ever think, or have those thought processes of that you're going back down when literally you're still moving up. There is no going back down. Any questions so far? Nothing?
There was a couple up there. Let's see. So Kathy says, I think we are living in the most amazing times ever. We were chosen to be here. You need to look at the things with a positive light, learn the negative, leave the negative behind.
Same thing with the positive, leave that behind too. Because when you drag the positivity along with you, you are carrying with you old, stagnant energy. That's what positivity energy technically is. Positivity, when you go into that positive mindset, when you start feeling good, it means that you're at a rest stop. It's like driving from where you're at, and your destination is 1,000 miles away. You can't just drive 1,000 miles without having to go pee, right? You need to have a rest stop in between, and that's what Source does, is that he created pit stops for us to be able to have that moment of peace, not positivity, but peace, to be able to let go of what we are holding on to, because positivity is just stagnant energy. It's just old energy. Negativity is always going to be that high negative energy. So focus upon the neutrality, being observant of both energies and being in the allowance that they're both there to guide you, not to stand in.
So question the narrative says, it's bloody hard work, Ostara. Not an easy task for any of us to undertake, as 3D designs keep us down and reactive. Together, though, we will get through. We will get there through. I got 100% faith in that. Suzanne says, venting is healthy so long as it is not harmful. I'm learning that. I got together with my mentor and friend and just sort of like, and she says, it's okay to spit it out. It's okay to talk about it. But I had closed down so much of what I was saying, not wanting to talk about anyone, not wanting to gossip, not wanting to bring any negative or low vibrational to my speech. But then I shut myself down as well. So now I'm at a place to where I'm learning how it's okay to speak about what's on my heart and mind, to work through things, and to ask questions about situations without bringing negativity to it, but healing. There's one thing that I am sure about, and that is when any of us are given insight to a situation, to a person, it is never to gossip. It is always to bring healing for that person.
Or awareness.
Or awareness, yes. Do we always say something to that person? That's where we have to be careful. Sometimes we do, sometimes we don't.
Sometimes we will, sometimes we won't.
Sometimes it's about sending the right vibration, the right energy their way to help them behind the scenes. So we can be in a place that is just very fragile. And saying something when we shouldn't could cause cracks in the glass. That's a deep one right there.
And yes, Melissa, I love you.
You know, we have 35 people watching us. I'm so grateful for those 35. So many more need to hear this message. Any chance? Ooh, Paula is going live with us on Wednesday, Nigel. And we're going to talk about something very similar. We're going to talk about respect. That is such an important thing right now. Because I'll tell you what I'm noticing. When I was invited to our high school reunion, I thought, I don't know if I want to go. And my husband says, why? I said, don't you remember the cliques? I do not appreciate cliques because, oh, you're valuable, but you aren't. You're valuable, but you aren't. You got money, you got fame, you got friends, but you don't. You're not valuable. Talk about a dive in vibration. And I am seeing that in a lot of places. I don't know if I want to stipulate it right now. But I'm seeing it in a lot of places. And I heard someone say, I am so humbled to be talking with you today and would appreciate the stage to get my message out in any way, on any stage. So we reached out. Oh, no, thank you. Why? Because you're valuable and you're not. Because you're valuable and you're not. We're seeing a lot of those clicks. Okay, I'm done. But that's what is partly going to be addressed on Wednesday. Jazzy says, oh my God, she is hitting the nail straight on the head. I have no desire to see anyone in high school again.
So when you spoke about that, you could go there and go, well, my son got into drugs and almost killed himself and was this and was that. And oh my God. Well, guess what? He got out of all of that. Can you say the same? See, that's my ego. You can most definitely tell when the ego comes out. So.
And that's okay. If we were not human and transparent, how would you learn? Because do you ever learn with do as I say, not as I do? Have you ever learned from that? How many people have complained about their parents say, oh, do as I say, but don't follow what I do? That is hypocrisy. We're real. We are real. And we discussed this a long time ago, that we have to be real and transparent and to be us. Because if we were not, how would you learn? We're not in a place where you can't be. We all work together because we are what? One. What is said? Where we go one, we go all.
Where we go one, we go all. So Darren just said, please get Maria Bernardis onto your show. She is brilliant, guys. And Cindy, I send you a link to your messenger. I never went to high school, so yeah, I was pulled out since 3rd grade, homeschooled. So I wouldn't know how high school cliques are, but I most definitely know about cliques.
We're gonna drop crabs off today in half an hour at hour 7.
So we have to leave in half an hour?
6:30 and no more.
Okay, all right. We'll get off the live then.
We've got a half hour. 5. It's gonna take us an hour to get back.
Okay. We've been summoned. We get to leave the house.
So, Jazzy, this was a training video with me venting in the beginning, but also training you guys in the middle, and a little bit more venting a little bit later, as you well saw. And, you know, me showing my ego so you guys can tell the difference between me and my stars. And yeah, there's the synopsis of this video. Oh dear.
Jazzy says the funny thing is all those people in those cliques didn't turn out so hot, and the ones that got shined.
Yep.
Yeah, just true.
Oh, Alicia's here if you want to make her one. Down, all the way at the bottom. Sorry, Melissa, I beat you to it. So,
Oh, that's okay. We know.
yep,
Yeah.
I am disconnected from my stars at this time. So I think, you know what? Let's do this. I am going to pull out a few cards and see what the stars have to say for the collective today. Shall we?
Nigel says, yes, we must do, and others will follow, lead by example.
It's always good to be transparent.
So let me ask you guys a question. How should we view having 32 people watching with us when we have Jason on and we get 1,000? Should we take that as a personal value of worth? How should we view that? I'm asking you. Everyone's furiously typing.
Now they're furiously typing because they just saw you saying it right now. Oh.
I want to go take a shower before we leave.
Okay, so let me just do this really fast. Because I also want to see what you have to say about it, about the message.
Engage Reiki says there is nothing more real or beautiful than vulnerability. And Melissa says never.
I can bet you anything that all those clicks would not show their face if they had Bell's palsy like I did. But maybe that will change since I did it first. On these type of lives.
This was last minute, no? Correct?
This was last minute.
No, this was spur of the moment, and us amazing ones are here. No, don't take it personally. Nothing to do with your worth or value. I think it's purely to do with subject matter.
Oh, Egypt. Egypt is sand.
Oh, you shared in Discord?
Hot. No.
Someone did.
Oh.
She found out, Jazzy found out because of Discord.
Oh, I think Melissa did. Yeah, Melissa's good at that.
Thank you, Melissa.
Oh, wonderful. Look at that.
Also, it was spontaneous. This is your second channel too. Maybe not everyone has joined the site, maybe. And then Karen says, Darren, love the idea of Maria Bernardis being interviewed.
Now, what does Maria Bernardis do? Like, is she a researcher or is she of the spiritual, mental? Because if she is a researcher like Jason Q and all them, then yeah, we could interview her, but don't expect any questions from me because that's not my forte. But if it's of the spiritual reality or the mental aspect, then oh, most definitely. I'll have really good questions and clarifying questions and stuff like that. So what I'm getting right now is that we got the six of power. Powerful. Take your power back. Now the 6 of hearts. Hearts represents water, emotions, and feelings. So when you give your emotions and your feelings power, guess what happens? You start focusing upon the third eye, the clairvoyance within you, the third eye of being able to see. Now remember the saying, what you see is what you believe is what you could do is where your destiny lays. So when you give the power to the emotions, the feelings of what you see, you're creating something that's there that is not there for your highest good, which means that you are looking at the very big details and not the smaller details of the details card. So it's time to go deeper within to see the smaller details of what that picture is actually saying. So you take a microscope and you look deeper within, because when you look deeper within, you'll then see what is happening with the number 4, the 4 of the past. You are focusing so much upon what is over there and not what is right here. So the diamonds also represent earth, practicalities, and courage. You're putting too many practicalities into a encouragement of yourself that is not even made clear just yet. So technically you're putting courage in a place that doesn't need to be putting courage for to create talking smack. So when you're talking smack, guess what? What I see is what I believe is what I could do is where my destiny lays. So when you see something negative, you start attaching to it, which then that leads all the way down to you start talking smack of not just the other person, but of yourself too, because everything is of a mirror. So what you're doing is that you're giving power to something that shouldn't even be there, which means that you are technically like that cursed pharaoh, the Egypt card. You're walking through a desert of feeling hot all the time. You're making it all about you when it has nothing to do with you in the first place. Does that make sense? So being very careful of the number 6 of hearts, of where you place the power. You use your emotions and your feelings to guide you where you need to be. That's where the power needs to be. It's not, you don't give it power. You use the power that the feelings and the emotions are showing you where that next step resides. Your emotions and feelings are a thermometer. It's just a meter of where you're standing on both sides of the scale. This is neutrality of standing straight. That's straight, right? That's straight. But when you start going like this, you're in the hot. Or when you start going like this, you're in the cold. You see, it's a thermometer. It's telling you where you're standing. So be careful of what you want to do with the power that you hold within you, of where you put your sight, your clairvoyance, your third eye, your attention to. That is what you need to be careful of, because it could lead to the talking smack, or it could lead to the education of what you need for yourself. And that's the message for today. Yay! All right, so I think we will end it with that.
So guys, just to bring clarity, we're going live with Paula around 2 o'clock, I think, 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I will verify that later and get it posted in Telegram, Discord, and the mod chats so they can spread it. And then Jason is always at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time Wednesday. So yeah, 2 shows in one day. Woo-hoo.
Yep.
And then Friday, we should have Mr. Truth Bomb on. I will verify what time later on. And then we're also going to be planning a live with Sarah Brandu. Now, she is going to bring an awareness to a new journey. Is just fantastic woman. She's so funny. Oh my God. I have really laughed at some of her posts. You guys are gonna love her. So we will verify when that comes out. But that should be this week too. And I think we're going to do that more of a spontaneous. We did plan it last Friday, but we just didn't feel the energies and maybe because we were wiped. I don't know, but
So Nigel said, talking smack or education? That's the lesson for today.
love it. So, guys, thank you so much. And I loved hearing what you all said. So with that in mind, with all of your comments about how should we look at this, I want to share that those types of thoughts come up, not just for me, for anyone, because that's just old programming. That is the whisperers, that's whatever it is. And when we recognize it is not the thoughts that are high vibrational. It is not neutrality. So we have a choice.
Yep. So what I'm going to do is I am going to forgive myself for attaching to those situations because it is no longer in my experience. So use that beliefs acronym, you guys. Beliefs acronym. Remember, believe, empower, love, understand, embrace, forgive, and surrender. So start taking those steps and then do it backwards. Believe, empower, love, understand, embrace, forgive, surrender. Then surrender, forgive, embrace, understand, love, empower, and believe. So I am going to do that. And yeah.
One last thing I want to share with you before we go. And that is, I was given a vision. And in this vision, I saw myself getting out of a car and walking into a building. And I was going to speak there. I was the speaker for that day or part of it. And the people that were in that building had paid to see the speakers. And there was a woman that was outside that needed some assistance. And there were people surrounding me as I was walking from the car up to the building, come on, ushering me in. And when I saw the woman, I stopped and I said something to her, and they said, no, don't worry about this woman. You have people that are waiting for you. And in this vision, I said, there is time for everyone. And I spent a few moments with that woman. I invited her in and sat her up front. And this is what I was being shown, what love is, that we are all important, every one of us. And we should always make time for even those that others do not consider that matter. We all matter. Where we go one, we go all. With that, I love you so much. We both love you. And thank you for spending this time with us.
This was amazing.
Thank you thank you, Mots. And for those that see where our challenges are, that you hold grace for us and that you love us through it. and that you forgive us. We appreciate you so much because we're journeying on this too. Love you all.